Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here. We've had a lot of rain over the past day and a half and it's finally stopped. I see blue skies. It's not gonna last long though. We got some more rain coming in this afternoon, but at least for right now, we're gonna have a clear morning and a clear early afternoon. So I'm standing out here in front of the freshly poured concrete slab that was just done a couple of days ago. It's curing, and it's dried. And actually I'm waiting for the concrete contractor to come. Right now, we're gonna actually put some relief cuts in it, and we're also gonna pull the forms. So once that's all done, he's done with the job, and we're gonna give it a few more days to cure, and then we'll get on it and we'll start building. But I wanted to show something really quickly. So it's been raining pretty good, and this was kind of a cool test. So if you look, I'll step out of the way so you can see it, but if you look at the slab, this drain that runs right through here, everything is sloped down to that drain in the front part of the shop here towards us. And you can see there's a couple of puddles, you know, in a few places over here, but for the most part, the slope has done a good job of shedding the water and getting it down into that drain and then running out to the back of the shop. But if you see where that ABS pipe is, that's going to be our main drain stack for the second floor apartment. Everything from that point back was set in perfectly level across, and you can see there's puddles kind of all over the place back there from the rain. So I guess it's just kind of interesting proof that the slope here is doing its job, exactly what we want to do. Should we get any moisture or liquid from snow melt or just coming off the cars or whatever reason, or during a car wash, we're gonna get that into the drain and get it out of the shop so it doesn't just puddle. And then the back is, you know, that's what happens when it's perfectly level. There's nowhere really for the water to go. It's finding the lowest possible place and it's just gonna puddle there. So, all right, well, the plan here for today is we're gonna obviously just get the everything done that we need to with the slab, the cuts, and then to get the forms pulled. And then we actually have a little bit of bad news. I was expecting the delivery of all of the material for the pole barn kit this afternoon. The posts didn't come in, they weren't on the delivery truck, so we're gonna have a little bit of a delay on getting our material there, which is fine, it's no big deal. I have a healthy backlog of projects that I can work on to keep myself busy. But I think I'm gonna do a little bit of waterproofing with the RV, some maintenance. There's just a crazy amount of maintenance that needs to be done on the RV when you're living in it full time. Things just need to be constantly fixed. And then if I have a little bit more time, I think I'm gonna work on this water supply ditch. Seeing how I'm gonna go back through it again and see if I can get it all the way down to 42 inches and get ready to hook it up to the water supply line. And if things are looking good over there, I'll call for that inspection and then we get everything filled back in and get that project checked off. Now, the cool part, when the inspector was out here last, he says anywhere you can't get down to 42 inches, you're just gonna have to kind of pile up and build up above it. So I think there's gonna be a few places where we're definitely gonna have to do that. But we got enough dirt, we should be able to, you know, skim some dirt from a bunch of places to kind of build that up. But what I like about, let me turn the camera here a little bit. What I like about the location of the ditch that we did up here is that we want to maintain this road as it's coming down, but if we do need to build up at all, we'll use that as kind of like a berm for the road, right underneath where that ditch is. So I think that'll be just fine. You know, if we're only able to get 30 inches or so, having a 1 foot berm isn't a big deal. Anything we can get, you know, 3 feet down, it'll be even less. So it should be fine. So that's definitely something that I can work on, keep myself busy. I got a little bit of disorganization between the barn and all my tools and everything is just kind of all over the place. So I'm gonna do a little bit of organizing and getting ready for that. And I think just in general, getting everything done so that we're ready to go as soon as the materials show up. The last thing that I can do that I really wasn't planning on working on until this weekend is we need to go through and do our layout on the slab itself. And so that will be taking our 64 inches long by 40, or 64 feet long by 40 feet wide dimensions. We're gonna shave 3 inches off those width and lengths, and then we're going to center and square that rectangle on the slab itself, and that's going to create the outer perimeter for where we're going to be setting the post anchors. So there's going to be a good amount of work just doing that and getting that ready. Once all those marks are done, we're going to wait till Monday, which will be day 6 basically, and I'll go ahead and start drilling and setting those post anchors, and then we're going to be ready for these posts to come. We'll get everything marked off so we know exactly where all of our wall girts are going to be sitting. We'll get them all cut to length, we'll number them, we'll go through and we'll check grade on each of the anchors so that we know the exact adjustments for the height so that everything is plumb and or level rather at the top, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so the concrete contractor just left. We are done. He's done at least. But you can see I have the job of cleaning up. So the dust from the cuts, I want to get that off. They said that stains if we leave it on. So I'm going to actually fire up a pressure washer and get that all cleaned off. So we get all of that debris off so we don't have any staining on the slab at all. And we pulled all the forms, so the forms are done. And I think the next thing that we're going to do, I didn't really think about it first, is now we've got this big transition from the ground grade up to the top of the slab. So I think I'm gonna take advantage of it not being freezing right now with the gravel and the rock, and I'm gonna try and smooth out that grade a little bit so that we've got at least a flatter surface kind of going all the way around the perimeter of the slab. It'll be a lot nicer to drive, say, a lift on it and not have it kind of wobbling or tilting. So I'm gonna try and get this all smoothed out. I've got the pipe to do the connections on the back, so that pile right there, I can get that flattened out and filled in the pipe as well. And what was really exciting right now is we just had somebody come by who's going to try and help us see if we can squeeze in a quick septic job with our leach field this year. So I got to do a little bit of homework this afternoon and call the inspector and see if they'll let us do just a temporary tank off of the shop here and get all the leach field put in. So kind of some hope, some fresh hope that we might be able to have that in the next couple months or so. And it's something that we might even be able to squeeze in during winter if we can get our hands on the material. So all right, I'm gonna get to this before we get the staining, and we got a lot of work to do before it starts raining here. And there we have it, looking good. So I got all that dust off. I used the pressure washer, and I think it just helped. I could have hosed it off, it probably would have been just fine, but some of it had already started like cake on, especially right near where the cuts were. So the pressure washer just gave it a little bit extra to get that off and push off the slab. So I'm gonna let this dry out, and I may give a tractor over there a little bath since I got the pressure washer. But slab's looking good. Really happy with how the cuts turned out. Yeah, I couldn't be more happy with it.